What's up, everyone? Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hello. How's everybody doing? Come on into the room. Come on in the room. Got a good show, quick topic, and celebrating one of the renowned people that have come and walked this planet. Let's give love to MLK's birthday. Come on, let's have a conversation. How are you doing? I'm feeling good. Hey, 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 Rob. Good to see you in the building. Hello, everyone. It's your girl Diamond from Voices Gathering Live, and I'm here to have an interesting, well needed conversation with you. Just a little bit of your time. So, if we can just talk just for a moment, I think you would appreciate and enjoy today's topic, right? It's MLK's birthday, so we cannot go without giving honor to a man who paved the way, sacrificed his life, stood with others who believed in the mission, shared some of the same morals, and carved out a space for us to kind of walk freely in now, right? If you can call it that. All right, you know the house rules. If you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please don't be afraid of clicking the like button. Also, do me a favor, get used to using that share button and share the love with other people. I am trying to grow this platform. And although I'm good at what I do, I'm no gooder than the people who support me doing it. So please get into the habit Mondays, or if you're watching the rerun show, like, comment, subscribe. Do me that favor, and I would be greatly appreciative. All right. Look, I wanted to have a conversation with you guys about MLK, right? It's the holiday, January 16th. We're taking time to honor Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And I thought this was a befitting opportunity to talk about some things that are very pressing and I think that we should be talking about. So I want to ask you guys some questions, but I'm going to be referencing some of my sources and reading some things that kind of stand out to me. But before I do that, I want you to take just a moment and think about what this holiday means to you. I don't care what ethnicity you are. If you're born in the land, you have heard of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the Freedom Riders, Rosa Parks, Medgar Evers, and just so many others who carved out a space and time for us to be able to vote, to be able to walk in places that we want to walk into without experiencing, although it still happens, experiencing what many of the people before us had experienced. You know, you don't hear too much about water hoses being sprayed on you. You don't hear much of that. I mean, please don't get me wrong. Yes, many things are happening in the world today. Many cruel things are happening to Black people still, as if Dr. King did not have that dream. But truth be told, we're not hearing so much of, again, dogs set loose on people, people being spit on and sitting at a counter, spit on while sitting at a counter, and being people refusing to serve them. Like, you know, these things happen, but how close to that magnitude are they happening? Right? They're happening. We still experience discrimination like no other. Like no other. But I think it's befitting for us to look at just a few things. Think about it like this. Despite Dr. Martin Luther King and his having a dream speech 57 years ago, it was 57 years ago, Black people are still fighting for justice and policies that will protect and aid them and their families. Without a doubt, many of us have experienced racism or prejudice or both at some point in our lives. Without that being said, my question is this. To those who are oppressed or felt oppressed, are we measuring up? And I'm talking to my people. I'm talking to people of color. I'm talking to black people. I'm talking to what used to be identified as the Negro. I am talking to my people. Now, let's be clear. Other people who are watching the shows from other ethnicities, races, and things like that, you can be an ally to this conversation, or you can continue to perpetuate the racist attitude that many people today still have, as if Dr. King and many others were not pointing out how racism continues to divide black and others, right? Because, we want to talk about how white people are just racist. They're not the only racist ethnicity of people. They're not. There are many racist people from all ethnicities. And yes, it's easy to point out the racism that come from white people because that's all you see. But racism happens slightly. Sometimes it's very enormous and big, but it happens. It happens, and it happens from many. So if the shoe fit, then I'm talking to you. Yep, I'm talking to you. Okay, so I want to just get you thinking. Just please think about this. Think about what you believe you know or know, and I want you to look at the time you're in right now. Are we measuring up to all that has happened before us? Are we walking linked arm to arm in a direction for the majority, or are we for the minority? Think about it. Just really think about it. And I really want people, black people, to really think about what I'm asking you. Are you measuring up? Some people are going to be frustrated with this conversation because, truth be told, truth hurts. It hurts and it bothers people when they're put in a position to answer a question. They're put into a position to be accountable. And I'm just asking a simple question. Are you measuring up? Are we as black people measuring up? Because when I look at the statistics, when I look at the research, when I have conversations with people, I am saying to myself, I don't think too many of us are measuring up. We can't constantly look at other people and blame them. Yes, don't get it wrong. There are many people who are accountable for some, if not many, of the positions that black people are in. That goes without saying. But I'm talking about the part that we are accountable for. Why is it that we turn, before I even get into that, let me go here. Do you know today's homicides is the leading cause of death among black men and contributes significantly to the short lifespan of black males? In about 80 to 90% of the cases, the black victim was killed by another black, and about 52% of the murder victims were acquaintances of the assailant. Those are the individuals that I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. How did we come from a time being still there, but a time being oppressed to 2023? We are still oppressed, but now we're also being oppressed and killed by our own people. How is that? It's so sad when you think about history. And I come from a time where, let's be clear, I'm a 70s baby, right? And what I remember about my childhood was that in my neighborhood, it was predominantly blacks. But it appeared to me, with those eyes, with that innocent thinking, with that time, that people were more close-knit than they were divided. My brother keeper, my neighbor, looks out for my children look out for their children. It's just a unity. Now that does not mean that things were not going on. There were people that were not getting along. Of course, that's from the beginning of time. Because people like to, cherry pick. They like to pull out, everybody didn't get along No. From the beginning of time, people didn't always get along. There was always something going on. But I want you to think about what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that there was a time when neighborhoods felt more like family. In today's time, it just doesn't feel like that. Even though I believe some of these neighborhoods exist, we don't hear much about them. We don't hear much about I am my brother's keeper until someone's killed. Then it's like, oh, there was such a nice person. Oh my gosh, what happened? Why do we have that after effect opposed to being more, I want to be careful with my words. But why is it that we have a reaction opposed to being proactive? Why is it that we can't think before we react? Why is it that we find that Black people are killing Black people? I'm not saying go out and kill white people or any other ethnicity. What I'm just saying to you is, how are we so at a point that Black people are killing Black people? Don't tell me that gang violence is what that's your family. True family don't want people going out hurting other people. True family don't want you bringing that kind of attention to the family. They don't want you doing things that would jeopardize the family unity. So don't tell me that there is a code that you stand by, and therefore the next Black person life does not matter. When you turn on the news, Philadelphia, if you watch the news, oh my God, you're going to need antidepressants, because all you hear is crime. And sad to say, when I hear the news in Philly, the news is about Black neighborhoods. It's not about a white suburban neighborhood, upper class neighborhood. It's about a neighborhood of Black people killing Black people. That's all it seems to come out of Philadelphia. Let's not be forgetting about Trenton. And I understand, again, what Dr. King really was fighting for, equality, because we do know that negativity births negativity. It does. So if you put people in a place where they can't thrive, they're clawing at just the bare minimum, you then put them against each other to start a war against each other, opposed to helping one another. There are so many wrongs in these communities than there are right. And I'm not talking so much really about the people being wrong, although there's some there. I'm just talking about what's supposed to help and sustain the people that reside in the communities. Dr. King wanted equality for all people. Whatever a white person had or was getting, he felt that a Black person should be able to have and get as well. But we, as Black people, are taking some of those opportunities right out of the mouths of our own people. And we tend to want to blame other people. I can't wait to get to the point where I have my other guests really in studio to have the conversation, because I know people would want to debate this conversation. Well, Diamond, this is going on. Well, you know what? White people, I get it. But the focal point in today's conversation is about Black people killing Black people, Black people oppressing Black people. That's what today's conversation is about. We know that there are people against the Black race. We know that. We know that there are other ethnicities that see Black people as nothing but animals, uneducated, all of these stereotype and negative things. We know that people are out there really thinking that. We do. And truth be told, I know that we all don't wear those labels, right? Because there are people across all ethnicities that wear those labels: black, Asian, white, Hispanic. uh, all sorts of people wear these labels. But blacks are always at the bottom. Always at the bottom. They're always at the bottom of this view. I hear you, I Rob. It's mostly the young generation. They have no sense. Yes, it's the young generation. It's the older generation. It's across all generations. I hear you, but it's not just the young that's acting out like fools. It's you. I mean, really, just look at it. There are so many people of all ages in our own culture, ethnicity, environment acting a fool. I know you want to say that, okay, blacks wouldn't be killing blacks with guns if they wouldn't have guns in the community. But just because there's guns in the community don't mean a black person needs to pick up a gun. No. No, 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 no. You I don't believe that. I believe people have choices. They can decide what it is that they want to do or don't want to do. People understand for the most part that guns kill. Don't tell me that, oh, I didn't think I was going to kill a person. You have a gun in your hand, you know what you're trying to do. Point blank. We have to stop making excuses. We need to hold everyone who is someone accountable about how we are moving forward. It takes the elders and the younger generation to work together to move forward as a race. Martin Luther King wasn't just fighting for the people during his time. He was fighting for all those during that time and those to come. That's what he was fighting for. He believed that we as people should have a right and those rights should be respected. But we still have people in positions, making laws that has nothing to do with propelling the black person forward. None. I was watching, so I reached out to a gentleman, and of course, let me be very transparent. So I reached out to someone about a video that I had watched on YouTube, and due to copyrights, you have to get permission from the owner of that video before you use it on your show, on your site. So I said, okay, well, let me reach out. And immediately I got a response. I didn't think I was going to get a response so fast, but, fast forward. I asked the individual, and someone from their camp, a relative, responded back to me about a video. And it was about, it's called this, I'm going to give it to you anyway. I'm hoping before you go like that, because I don't see how when I tell you what it is, that you won't give it a thumbs up. But I'm hoping that you would not find it robbery, that I'm bringing the information to you, that you would give a thumbs up. Also, before you post your comment on that person's site after watching it, that you would save that comment and bring it to this platform and share it. That's how I grow it. And I'm just not going to be apologizing for telling my audience what I need to move forward. It don't hurt to click the like button. It don't hurt to get into the conversation. If you're going to sit there, chat it up with me. Come on. Come on. And if this don't float your boat or rock with you, then I get it. I respect that. And you got to do what you got to do. But, we have to learn to stop apologizing for the things we need and be honest about the things we need. And that's what I need you to do. So as I tell you the name of the title, please go watch it. Save your comment and your like, especially if you haven't done it here. Bring it over to the platform here and share it. It's called The Six Great Black Americans on 1963 Primetime TV. It's an amazing dialogue. It has six of the greats. Medgar Everett. I can't name them all. I do apologize. I had them written down. Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm wasn't there. It was phenomenal. And just bear with me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Okay, I do have the names. The participants that participated in the live prime time television dialogue was James Farmer, James Foreman, Whitney Young, Martin Luther King, and Roy Wilkins. They all had a conversation about the state of black people in America and the fight that they were fighting for blacks. It was phenomenal. It's a very short, I think like 32 minutes. Please go watch it. The individual that I asked, they was like, "Oh, we need you to pay for this." I was like, "Whoa. I'm not. This person has 786K views on that show and has 900K subscribers." I'm like, I don't think you're gonna be hurting if I don't pay you for this little clip about my people, and especially the person that did the air the documentary is of Anglo-Saxons race. Okay, so no, thank you. I'm not going to. I'll tell people to go watch it, and hopefully they'll come back on the show here and share what it is, and I will put it in the conversation so that you. And you know what? I may link it to the bio of this show so that it would be easy for you to get to. But please watch this video. And then you got to do this. Okay. This is what I want you. This is the name of it. And please go and watch it and come back and tell me what you think. You don't have to do it now while we got the show in, but when the show is over, just turn it on, sit down for a second. It's not going to take up a lot of your time. Watch it and come back and then post your comments after the show, please, and tell me what you think. But when you have black men, right? This was black men, right? And you have to understand, back then, these men were young. These were not senior citizens like people like to think, but they were young, old. And no, honey, these were young men sitting around having a conversation about how to help the black man, how to propel him in a direction that would be beneficial not only to him, but to his family, his community, and have change in his environment. That's what they were talking about. And I have to tell you that yes, we hear those people who are fighting for the rights of black people, but the truth be told, we don't hear enough of that. We don't. We don't hear enough of it. If I have to pay to go to a college for a professor to take an opportunity to teach me that while I'm paying for it, why aren't we having more of those conversations happen in all schools before college, where education is what's supposed to be free, that people are getting true history and knowledge about the black man? You know, a little black child, boy or girl, cannot have any high hopes if they live in an environment in which the environment is perpetuating negativity. All they know is this is what's going to happen. This is all life is. This is the only thing that's ever going to be of anything for me. That's all. That's all they know. So they stay stuck in that place thinking that, well, this is all life has. I have been a guest at many events as a speaker, speaking to all age of children and teenagers, young adults. And when I hear these people say that they've never been out of their community, they never travel, all they know is what they see in that community. And oftentimes those community is plagued with negativity and crime and poverty. So all they know is that. So if that's all they know, what is it that they have hope for? If they come from, and not to say this, because I know like people like to run with a little bit of information and just that's it. But if they come from, a single parent home, mother or father, not both, little education, history of legal issues, the school is failing them. What does that person have hope for? What do they hold on to? What will get them to believe that something is greater coming, or they can strive to be better than they are? And I'm telling you, I understand that there are people who have overcome that. There are. There are people who've overcome that situation. But we have to remember that that's not always the case. Some people don't make it through that. Some people end up losing themselves trying to find their way. And we have to remember that if people continue to see the glass half empty, they'll never know how to move forward. So how has Martin and all the rest helped today's Black person move forward? That's a question for you to think about. Because if you're watching the show, how many of you are having that conversation with your family of the sacrifice that was made? I'll wait. How many of you, or how many people in the chat or that will watch this show that will say that they observed or themselves have had conversations about the sacrifice our ancestors have made so that we today can make better decisions with someone you know, whether it be your family or your friends? And let's be clear, if anyone is debating you in those conversations, I think it's good to have a healthy debate, a healthy conversation, a healthy I agree, a disagree. But I can't stand, and I'll say this again, I can't stand when people say, well, we can agree to disagree. Why are you looking to disagree? I understand that we can agree to disagree, but I'm not looking to disagree with you. I'm looking to learn from you. If I'm just there to have a disagreement with you, then you don't need me to be there. We need to have conversations that are uncomfortable. We need to know how to check our emotions and our feelings so that we don't come across insulted so easily because we disagree. You know, I like when someone says, well, I disagree, but let's talk about it, because this is what I was thinking. You know, that is healthy dialogue. And that's what you will see on that video that I was sharing with you. And again, like I said, I really. Okay. Here I am trying to make it a little bit more easy for everyone. Oh, I can. Okay. I got it. Because, you know, it's about making sure that the information is shared. So there's the hyperlink there. That's the link that I want people to check out. And I'm hoping that people will honestly come back and post a comment about this here. It's very easy to look at other people instead of looking at ourselves and being accountable to one another. It's very easy to point out other people's flaws instead of pointing out our own flaws. It's very easy to turn our backs and say, oh, not me, when it actually is you. We have to stop killing one another. I'm telling you, there's some people that are very happy and okay with us killing one another. They do not care about us killing one another. That is exactly what they're hoping. They're hoping that we would get so out of place that we would lose focus on what the true mission is and just watch us deploy ourselves, just implode in on each other. That's what they're hoping. There's a lot of people really hoping for us to, they don't have to get their hands dirty because we're doing that. You know, the same people that don't want you joining their country club, the same people that look at you like, why are you renting an apartment or buying a house in this neighborhood? Those people do not care about you killing one another. They don't. They absolutely do not care at all. Go ahead and kill yourselves. They don't care because they're like, well, listen, we don't have to worry about them because they're killing each other. So don't worry about it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I don't get this wrong now. It's not that I agree with those individuals and that thought process, but I get where people sometimes, no, let me take the sometimes out, child. No, no, no. I get when people be like, I don't want this individual moving to my neighborhood. See, it has nothing to do with the color of your skin. If a white person coming, okay, here's something. So I live in the suburbs, right? And it's not the inner city. I live in the suburbs, and before the legalization of marijuana, of course, it was against the law. So my neighbor moved into the community in the neighborhood, and once the legalization of marijuana was there, I'm walking my dog, my little pooch, and I'm walking my dog, and I smell marijuana. And of course, the person was standing outside their car, white people, smoking, and I was annoyed. See, I was annoyed because I don't care about what your color is. I care about how you are either going to come and tamper and damper and hinder the community, or you're going to come and uplift it, be unity and supporting of the community moving forward. So it doesn't matter what your color is for me. But for some white people and other races, because again, it's not just white people. It matters that you're just black. They don't know nothing about you. You ain't doing nothing wrong. You ain't acting a fool or nothing like that. And they just really got a problem with you. They got a whole problem with you because the way you look. That your color, your skin color, is telling them a story that they truly don't know. You could be the most educated black person coming from good parents, whether you live in a single family, a parent home, or two-parent home, and they know nothing about you. But because you are or appear to be black, that's all they needed. I believe we should not be giving them any other reason to put things against us. They've made up enough in their own head. Enough in their own head. They have already shaped this thought process in their mind that they will judge us according to how they think we are. And we do know that many of us are not close to what they think about us. We have to be bold in the face of racism and say no more. And there are white people that are allies to the mission. There are. All the way back to when Dr. King and the rest were fighting the good fight. All the way back then, there were white people that were allies to the mission. So if they were allies, or if you're an ally to the mission of black people, then this is not about you. But I bet you any amount of money you know somebody that's about. Right? So going back to, if all that, we as black people should not be against one another. We should be uplifting and supporting one another. Hello, Donna. I see some comments here. Okay, yes, we all know why folk don't want to teach the truth of the history. We have to educate ourselves and teach one another. Absolutely. And that's what the conversation is about blacks helping one another. If a black person don't know, a lot of people that are not black just don't know the true history, because like Donna, you're saying, people won't teach it. So it's our responsibilities as blacks to learn our history and do what is right by giving it to others freely. Hence the reason why I brought about that video, because the person who seems to own the clip is not of our people. So they wanted to actually charge me for it. And I was like, I'm not going to pay for my history. You actually put it on your platform and sharing it. I would think 900K subscribers that you would be okay with saying, oh, absolutely. But they went into this whole thing is monetized. We need to make money. He's 87 years old. This is how we earn our income. And I just started to pull out a violin and say, look, save it for later. No, I'm not going to pay you for my people's history. And no, I'm not going to do that. Just not going to do it. I do agree, though, that someone will automatically become a product of their environment. I know too many positive cases of persons who made it out of a negative situation, determined not to be like what they saw. Absolutely. There are many of us who left our inner city communities, environments, and said, environments meaning our homes, our schools, our neighborhoods, our churches, whatever it is, and said, nope, better. I don't. Okay. Better. I'm going to have something better. And we have to be hungry for that. We have to be starving to have something better. But when you turn on the news, it's like dog eat dog. You put them in one small box and the strongest survive because I'm going to kill all just so I can survive. That is bothering some. That is bothering some. We need more people. And I'm not talking about just the seniors. We need more people stepping up into positions where we can actually do, teach, pull, direct, lead people into doing and making better decisions. I'm saying give them the information and let them choose. A lot of people who are a bad representation of the black people, they don't know no better because they come from not knowing any better, right? Meaning that those people they're surrounded, they don't know no better. Or do they? I do believe that some people, a lot of people, understand that if you do wrong, the possibility is that you're going to go to jail. So I do believe, let's not bring mental health in it. I do believe that a lot of people understand what they're doing. They understand the decisions that they're making are risky. If they didn't, they wouldn't wear a ski mask when they go rob stores. They wouldn't toss away the gun when they shoot somebody and kill them. You know you did wrong. We have to do better. We have to do better, and we have to hold people accountable. Unfortunately, our problem itself, hatred. Unfortunately, our problem is self-hatred. We have to learn who we are to learn and to learn to love ourselves and our culture. Yes. Yes, very true. Very true. I agree. We do. We have to do that. But and here's the thing. We were taught. There's a history of being taught to not love ourselves, that we're not good enough. That this is not considered to be beautiful. That my way of thinking has no value. And yes, we need to train up in the way a child should go, right? We should be instilling in those babies, you're beautiful, you're loved. But we need to start reminding some adults the same thing too. Because these adults run around here, oh my goodness, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, just you see people who don't love themselves. And therefore that non-love falls into a space of pure destruction. Pure destruction. I appreciate your feedback, Don. I really appreciate that. It's, as you know, as a person who has a podcast, when the audience is not involved in having a conversation, you're just running and talking to yourself, hopefully that someone will comment at some point later. But I appreciate it because your view is absolutely right. I agree. Until we learn to love love ourselves, we can't love someone else. We must learn how to look at ourselves, love ourselves, know that we're greater than any situation we're facing, and move forward. And move forward with the force, right? We need to link ourselves around people who know how to love and know what love is before we start thinking that it's just impossible for us to experience that. That is so true. But at some point, we must break that way of thinking and stop blaming others. It's time to step up and just do it. Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. I think people think they have more time to do what they know they should be doing, and truth be told, they end up not having that time. There is I, just look at this. Okay, Nipsey Hussle, a man in his community who took his platform and did greater things within the community. He did greater things in the community. And he lost his life to another black man. How is that? How is it? How when Nipsey has history now, right? He has history. But when he got to a place that he wanted to do something different, he was making the strives to do it. And this man decided out of jealousy, envy, to take his life. So here go a black man killing another black man, while the black man who come from the hood doing something better for the hood. He didn't go into another community. He stayed within the community, in a community, and did great things for the community to lose his life. Shall we go on? How is it that this young black woman, Shaquilla Robinson, go on vacation trusting, right, that the person that she's going on vacation with, she would have a good time? This woman, whatever she was going through and not able to conduct herself appropriately, takes the life of this young lady. How is that? And let me tell you, the list goes on. All of these men were killed by another black man or people. How is that? Help me understand it. And we need to be, when I was a kid, you would hear love music, right? You would hear the radio. My parents, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, neighbors, they were playing Marvin Gaye and just so many people. I mean, about love. There was messages in the music. Don't get it wrong, but for the most part, it was about unity, love, and just helping one another. Now we have rappers, and not every rapper, but the rap industry is full of negativity. I'm going to say it. It is. For the most part, the rap industry perpetuate negativity. It perpetuate the very thing that I'm talking about when I talk about black on black crime. It just does. I am so disappointed, and I'll say this. I understand. Before I say it, let me put this out there. I understand that those who took rap and was able to make a lifestyle that they could feed their family, and I mean not just their nuclear family, I'm talking about their family, right? Employed their family and have an opportunity that they would, for the most part, not had. They took this talent. I get it. But I'm telling you that I'm sorry for the day that they approved that rap music could be a thing. I When rap music was profitable, and of course white people were behind it, right? Think about it. NWA, is it NWA? Sorry guys. Ice Cube and all of them. When I tell you that they were very much, their manager was white. I mean, it do they have talent? Absolutely. But what they was, some things were I agree with, but for the most part, a lot of things that they're talking about, I did not agree with. It put a very negative look on black people, black women, how they see black women. I could have been very fine without rap music ever being a thing. Sorry. And if anybody who's a rapper that disagree with me and the little engine that could, this little show, I invite you to come, or anybody that's not even a celebrity, I invite you to come and have a conversation with me about what I'm talking about. Especially the part about rap music and how it does not help the community, but actually cause more harm. Listen, find another way to tell the story about overcoming situations as a black person in the hood. Find another way, but don't do it on the backs of black people, and then plant these seeds of destruction in the younger generation and some of those who don't have common sense, and say that this is not the way to go. Sorry. While your pockets are fat and you're living the life of whatever you want to call it, I'm telling you that there are people dying by the dollars that you are collecting from them purchasing the negative stereotypes, the negative music, the negative images that you paint for the younger generation and those who listen to your music. So again, I digress, but I wanted to pull that category of music and lifestyle into this conversation because, again, I am saying that Martin Luther King and many others did what they could so we could. Many of them died so we could. And yet we are killing each other because you feel you could. I'm hoping that this conversation sinks with someone. I hope that it resonate with you. I'm hoping that you understand what it is I'm saying. I'm hoping that you understand that we need to be accountable. We need to truly be our brother's keeper. We truly need to be pulling up our community. We truly need to know how to forgive one another so that we can heal our community. As a black person, I believe that we need to do better. We got a national holiday, right? And many people, black people, I'm talking to you, many people of color are sitting, they're not thinking about, oh, but I just got a day off. Ooh, I got a day off. Do you know what it took for you to get this day off? Do you understand the blood that was shed so you can have this day off? Do you truly understand? Because I think people don't understand. I think they pretend they understand, but they don't truly understand that people died fighting the good fight so that you would have an opportunity. Black people, don't tell me that you don't vote. You're part of the problem. See, nothing moves unless it's written in law. So when you don't vote, you continue to perpetuate the things that's happening to the black person in these days. So, when people and I'm very transparent. When I turned 18, I wasn't a registered voter. I understood that I needed to vote, but I didn't understand how to vote. And I don't mean go to the polls and punch buttons and pull it. No. How to vote, what to look for, how to understand that. I didn't know it then. And that's something they all should be talking about in schools, like teaching it about these policies and laws and things so that you can vote and really affect change. But we got grown-ups, honey, saying, I don't vote. And you have no other choice but to respect what they're saying, but disagree. When I say, well, I respect what you're saying, meaning I hear you, but I don't agree with what you're saying. Because I'm fighting for change and policies that would not only help me, but help my neighborhood, help my family, help the children. And you tell me you don't vote. And we needed like 3 more votes. And you were the one holding out one of those votes. Yeah, no. Save that for someone else. No. That's when I think we're selfish. We are selfish when we don't vote. You're crying about change, but you don't vote. No, I don't agree. I don't. I absolutely do not agree. All right, guys, we're getting ready to wrap up this conversation, but I wanted to make sure that if you have any questions for me, please pop them down in the chat. We'll take like 2 minutes we'll take 3 minutes. If I have, you have a question that you want me to answer or anything, give you some time to do that. But I really appreciate you guys showing up here. Donna, it's so good to see you in the chat. And actually see you, meaning you're talking to me. I love that. Thank you so much. If you're here and you didn't click the like button, don't leave the room before you click the like button. That button likes to like. Also, click the share button. If you're on this site, then that means you have social media. People have social media. Now stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Click the share button and share it to your social media so other people can know that this is what we're doing. Here's a black person asking my black people, because I know the names in there right now, which is very few, are black people. Click the share button and share with your people, please. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. I'm feeling fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. Something new, something fun. And yeah. And everybody's saying to me, girl, I'm loving your look. I'm like, well, thank you. I need to do some of these things more often. What you're trying to say? I was being a little plain Jane? Nevertheless, okay, I don't see anyone have any questions. Thank you so much for showing up. I truly appreciate you and your time. I hope that you would do what I asked you to do and share the love on your social media platforms. Please know that the show is every Monday at 6 o'clock. Donna, I can't wait till you and Pastor Sam come on the show so we can have a conversation. I can't wait to come back over to yours. We got a whole big year here, so I'm sure that something will come up where we all can get down with the get down. Look, be good to one another. I'm telling you, be good to one another. Just be good to one another. Be good to one another. You only got this moment. Just this moment. Just this moment. If you don't believe me, just pay attention to the conversation I had with you tonight. Turn on your news feeds or go to your social media feeds and just read or watch all the negativity that comes out of that. And you'll see that you only got this moment. All right, my people. Listen, www.voicesgathering.com is the website. There also my email address, which is diamond@voicesgathering.com. You can email me there. Look out for the podcast to be in audio. Thank you, Donna, for that information. And all the rest of you, if you know how you can help me propel this show forward, reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, hopefully sooner, I ask that you do that. Be well, my people, and much love. See ya. Bye.